Hello book friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Maddie and today we will be having Eloise as a guest host for this video. So she's the real star of the show. But we are doing 24 Kindle Unlimited books that I want to read in 2024. I've already done 24 books I want to read in 2024 that included on my physical TBR or books that I want to actually buy that are not on Kindle Unlimited. But for this video, we're doing specifically Kindle Unlimited books. I have three categories: romance, fantasy / romantasy, and thriller. If you're new here and you don't know, I'm a Christian and I prefer clean books over spicy books, even though I do read spicy books. So throughout each book on this video, I tried to include if it had spice or not, because some are actually clean recommendations or clean books that I want to read. So I went ahead and put that in there. So anyways, enough rambling, let's go ahead and get started. So I have them all on my phone in my notes, and we're gonna start with romance books and then move to fantasy and then move to thriller, because thriller is like the smallest section. I did forget to write down the authors' names when I was writing down my list, but I'm gonna put the book cover up so you'll be able to see it and you'll be able to see the author. Book number 1 is Flawless. It's the first book in the Gold Rush Ranch series, and it's a small town romance, and it's kind of like Hallmark, like the girl can save the man's business. Apparently it does have cussing and it is spicy, so take that into consideration. I'm not going to be doing like too much of a synopsis. I took like a few quick notes from what I could pull from the synopsis, but since there are 24 books, I don't want to go too deep into each one. Book number 2 is Behind the Net. It's a grumpy sunshine hockey romance. This will be the first hockey romance that I've ever read. I haven't read one. I haven't read Icebreaker. Everybody raves about hockey romances. They're very in right now, so I'm kind of excited to be like in the know with everybody else. It's the first book in the Vancouver Storm series, and it does have spice. Book number 3 is All in Time, and this is the third book in the Freedom Valley series. I've actually read Falling in Love, and I don't know, I think that's book number 1, and it's obviously part of the series, and it's just a fallish book, and I really enjoyed it. It did have, I think it had a little bit of spice. It wasn't like anything too in-depth. It might have even faded to black. I can't remember. I can't be for sure, so don't quote me on that. What I really like about the series is that even though you can read them as standalones, they're all intertwined, which I think is really cool. That is why this one is a single parent trope, and I'm not usually into single parent books, but since these are connected, I actually know the characters from when I read Falling in Love, so it kind of like made me want to know her story. And it's apparently reverse Grumpy Sunshine, so I guess the guy is the sunshine and the girl is the grumpy, is what I'm assuming. Number 4 is Love Redesigned. I've heard so many good things about this. It's the first book in the Lakefront Billionaires series. I'm pretty sure it does have spice because I think this is by Lauren Asher. It's a dual point of view, which I love. I love a good dual point of view. It's a small town romance, and it's family friends turned to childhood rivals, and then I guess turned lovers. That's a lot happening. Book number 5, The Roommate Remodel. It's book 4 of Renovation Romance, so I think you can read them standalone though. It's a sweet hockey romance. This is a clean book. No spice, it's closed door, which I love. Number 6 is Kissing for Keeps. It's Shepherds in Love, book 1. It's a dual point of view. It's a second chance secret history book, and it's best friend's brother. So there you go. Those are some of the main tropes. Number 7, The Fine Print. I actually have this in like the physical copy, which I didn't when I bought it. Didn't know it was on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm kind of mad about that. But it's the book 1 and the Dreamland Billionaires. They're all on Kindle Unlimited. It's another dual point of view, enemies to lovers, and I've heard, oh my gosh, I heard it has a lot of spice. So if you don't like that, stay clear from this one. Probably any Lauren Asher books, if you don't like spice, just go ahead and skip those. Number 8, Not Happy Campers. It's enemies to lovers, fake dating. I love a good fake dating trope. That is me though. That's just me. And it's also a clean rom-com, so I'm very excited. I feel like I might want to read this more towards like the summertime when it's like camping season. I guess camping season's all year round, except I don't know, does anybody camp in winter? I don't think I would, but that's because I hate the cold weather. Number 9 is It Couldn't Be You, and this is in the Sweet River series. It's the first book, It's childhood friends to lovers. It's forced proximities if you're into that. And it's no spice, it's kissing only, close the door is what it kind of said in the caption. So now we're gonna move into fantasy slash romantasy. I think most of these are technically considered romantasy, but to me, I don't know if there's really a difference or not. I feel like, I mean, I guess fantasy, some have like the subplot of romance, but I'm good with either or. So I believe some of these are clean romances too. Like they have clean romances in the book, unlike a lot of the fantasy that I read. So I'm very excited to try these out. And when I do read these, I will always include them in my wrap-ups, or I think I am gonna do a vlog, like a reading vlog of just reading clean books for like a week or something. If that's something you're interested in, let me know in the comments. Okay, number 10 is Hooked. I do want to just go and say I know this is not a clean book. It's a fractured fairy tale of reimagining of Peter Pan. I love Peter Pan, so I love hearing retellings of it, or reading retellings of it. The villain gets the happy ever after, and apparently if you want to know what the mature themes are, you can look at the author's website. Number 11 is The Dark Kind and the Eternal Dance. This is a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses and Hades and Persephone. Never seen that, but I have seen the 12 Dancing Princesses when I was little and I loved it. This is another like twist on the classic fairy tale where the villain gets the happily ever after, and I do believe that this is a clean romance. Number 12 is White Horse Black Knights. This is a dark forbidden romance. It's book 1 in the God-Kissed Bride, and it's a slow burn enemies to lovers. Number 13 is The Trial of the Sun Queen. This is like a Court of Thorns and Roses meets Fourth Wing, and it's enemies to lovers, and that's all I have for you. That's all I know about that book, and the cover is beautiful. And I kind of want, if I love it, I'll probably get it in a physical copy because the cover is just that pretty to me. Number 14 is Court of Winter. This is book 1 in the Fae of Snow and Ice. It's an enemies to lover Fae romance. There's a morally gray prince, and apparently it is steamy. I don't know how steamy. Steamy nonetheless. Number 15 is The Ever King. I've had this on my TBR for a while and I just haven't got into it yet, but it's book 1 in the Everseas, and there's pirates, sirens, fae collide with Vikings. Oh my gosh, I used to have like an obsession with Vikings. Like I think they're so cool, so I'm interested to read this. Number 16 is Daughter of No Worlds, and this is book 1 in the War of Lost Hearts. It's a former slave is fighting for justice, and then there's a reclusive warrior who no longer believes it exists. And then apparently there is adult content in this book. Number 17, Silver Lies. It is the book 1 of the Silver Lies series. It's a dystopian slow burn romance, and it's closed door. Number 18 is Pestilence. Is that how you say that? If it's not, that's embarrassing for me. It's the book 1 in the Four Horsemen, and the Four Horsemen come to end the world, and he takes a girl prisoner, and it becomes a romance. I really was not sure. I was not following. But I see this book everywhere. I've seen it in like multiple different bookstores, and it just calls to me every time. But then I found out it was on Kindle Unlimited. I was like, yes. And so then I immediately had to put it on my TBR for 2024. Number 19, A Court This Cruel and Lovely. I had to literally say that, like I've taken this clip like 3 times to try to say that. I don't know why I'm struggling. Anyways, it's the book 1 of the Kingdom of Lies series. It's enemies to lovers, a slow burn, and it does have some adult content in it. Number 20 is Zodiac Academy. I've heard such good things about this. It's a dark bullying romance and probably has some adult content from what I could tell. And I definitely think it has some profanity in it according to the synopsis, so just beware. 21 is the last book of the fantasy section, and that is The Assassin's Bride. The first book in The King and the Assassin is the twisted tale of a deadly bride competition for the hand of the mysterious Shadow King. It's a sweet, but it's a non-steamy, slow burn romance, and I do believe it's a YA book, so if you don't like YA fantasy or YA romance, this might not be the book for you. Now we are going to move on to the thriller section. Number 22 is The Silent Patient. This has like, I don't know, everybody talks about this book and I have yet to get to it. It's about a woman who, I guess, I don't know if she kills her husband or if she's just violent towards him. And then she like doesn't speak after, is what I believe. And then apparently there's a therapist that's obsessed with uncovering her motive of to why she did whatever she did to her husband. Number 23 is The Coworker. It's 2 women, an office filled with secrets, and one terrible crime that cannot be taken back. And I've heard this is good from one of my friends. She said that it was really good. Number 24, and it's the last book on this list, and it's Do Not Disturb. And it's a woman who is running because she did an unthinkable crime, but then she ends up at a sketchy hotel and she must survive the night. Oh my gosh, that was kind of long. So that is it for my 24 Kindle Unlimited books that I want to read in 2024. If you have read any of these books, let me know in the comments, or if you want to read any of these books, let me know in the comments. I am so excited. I'm so excited to read these and then share them with y'all eventually. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, friends.